There is a very sagacious advice by Death to Savitri. Savitri, you are a passionate creature, you are driven by emotion, your husband is lost, and therefore all this hue and cry. And it is not by hue and cry that you can win back his soul. You have strength, you have knowledge, you have this thing, you have that thing, etc., etc. But you don't understand the nature of things. The laws which are operating here, be calm, be steady, and then let things work out. He says, mighty art thou with the dread goddess filled. That is what he said. In the morning you worship goddess Durga and you are filled with the power and all that thing. To whom thou criest at dawn in the dim woods. You had prayed to her, and I know it. She must have definitely given something to you at that time. And therefore you are mighty. But is that might sufficiently mighty to meet the challenge of death? That is the whole problem. To whom? Use not. Therefore he says, because you are mighty, use not thy strength like a wild titan's souls. Touch not the seated lines, the ancient laws, the ancient laws. Respect the calm of great established thing. Respect the calm of great established thing. Follow the status quo. Observe the status quo. Status quo has its own functional utility, functional necessity also, and let things kind of happen in their natural course. Don't force the issue. You are a passionate creature, don't force the issue, you see. Respect the calm, great established thing, calm of great established thing. Now, yes, things are great, they are established things, but are they really calm? Yeah. They don't have that kind of a calm. It is a kind of inertia. Don't call inertia as calm. You want to hold on, let things go on in the way in which they are. It is a kind of an inertia, you see. It is not really calm in that sense, you see. Respect the calm of great established things. The way things are happening, let them go on, you see. Well, this is a kind of an obvious argument on part of death, and Savitri is not going to really worry about it. Who bothers about established things? The established things had to change, had to open themselves out to superior powers and superior possibilities. That is Savitri's point of view. And therefore, she did not really respect those established things, you see. She did not really respect those established things at all. But Savitri replied to the huge God. See, we have in Savitri number of adjectives for God. Mighty God, dreadful God, spacious God, all kinds of things are there. Here's a huge God. So here is the recognition of some kind of greatness which is present in this God, huge God. It also means that the hugeness of this God is something formidable for Savitri to meet. Savitri has to face something very formidable. Therefore, that hugeness of the God, something stupendous, something mighty, and that formidability has to match with her strength. But Savitri replied to the huge god, "What is the calm thou wants, O law, O death?" As I said, law is the literal translation of the word Yama, which is the name of death. Sri Aurobindo does not give a proper name to death. He simply calls death alone, you see. But Yama is the Sanskrit name for death, law. So that is the established law. That is the great established law of things. Established law of things governed by the law of death. That is the nature of the mortal creation. He is the ruler, the governor, the prime mover of the mortal world. What is called in Sanskrit Mrityu Loka. Mrityu, mortal, death, Loka, world, sphere, globe. You see. So he is the governor of this mortal world, and that governance is by his law of Mrityu. Now, although it is Mrityu, although it is death, it is a kind of a functional necessity for the progress of this mortal world. It is because of death that the mortal world can make progress. The occult fact is, he is playing a role to promote the cause of this mortal world. What is the calm thou wants? Calm of established things. Oh death, is it not dull visioned, straight, inert? Okay, she is using the word inert. What is that calm after all? Inertia, dull vision of monstrous energies changed in a stark, round, soulless, and stone-eyed with mechanic dreams. Vain the soul's hope, its changeless law is all. Obviously, there cannot be any hope for soul. The purpose of the coming of the soul in creation is not fulfilled if the law remains unchanged. If the law remains unchanged, it cannot go away. Ever to the new and unknown, press on the speeding eon, justifying God. The whole movement, yuga after yuga, eon, yuga, they are rolling on, speeding on. For what? To justify God. What it is here for. What were earth's ages is a grey restraint was never broken, and glory sprang not forth, bursting their obscure seed, while man's slow life lived hurried into sudden splendid paths by divine words and human gods revealed. So there is a double effort, divine word and human effort. It is by that the sudden splendid paths have opened out and new things are happening here. So it is, if it is so, then therefore she says, impose not upon sentient minds and hearts the dull fixity that binds inanimate things. What you are calm is nothing but the law of inertia. Don't impose law of inertia on this creation. Binds inanimate things. As far as inanimate things are concerned, they are governed by the law of inertia. In fact, that is the entire basis of Newton's law of motion, the very first law. A body continues to be in a given state of motion until and unless an external force acts upon it. That is the law of inertia enunciated by Newton. A body continues to be in a given state of motion until and unless an external force acts upon it. Well, this will remain as it is unless some external force acts upon it. Body will continue to move on endlessly, like the planets or whatever you call it, unless an external force acts upon it. In whatever state of motion it is, it will continue to remain in the state of motion. And therefore it is called the law of inertia. Now the law of inertia by itself therefore defines what is a force. A body continues to be in a given state of motion until and unless an external force acts upon it. So the external force, what does it do? It changes the state of motion. It changes the status quo. It brings something new. That is what it means basically. So the law of inertia also defines what a force is. A force is something which will change the state of inertia. You see, it is already inbuilt into that thing, you see. Imposed upon sentient minds and the dull fixity that binds inanimate things. There is a force acting on that, and that is bound to change things. Well, is the unconscious rule for the animal breeds, content to live beneath the immutable yoke, man turns to a nobler walk, a master path. He is, to some extent, free of the law of inertia. There is some force which was from within or from above or from outside in him which can change the law of inertia. A master path.